Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about USCIS issues, a devastating update impacting Hispanic immigrants. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for an upcoming video. The Department of Citizenship and Immigration has released a new update signaling that more details will follow in the coming days or weeks. Although officials have not clarified when the changes will take effect, they confirmed that the new rules reflect a major shift in how green card applications will be evaluated. According to early information, the Trump administration is once again taking steps to deny green cards to individuals who rely on government safety net programs. DHS reinstates stricter public charge guidelines. The Department of Homeland Security has formally implemented and communicated a policy designed to make it easier for immigration officers to reject green card applicants who use public benefits such as Medicaid or food stamps. Under this framework, if a person without lawful status received these benefits and later attempts to adjust their immigration status, immigration officers may deny the green card based on public charge violations. This video, a significant rollback of the Biden-era approach, marks the return of the Trump-era public charge rule. This video represents the latest version of the public charge rule, which now overrides President Biden's more lenient interpretation. The Biden administration had previously eliminated the Trump-era restrictions, restoring a narrow definition of public charge. Now, however, DHS is reinstating the broader criteria from 2019, allowing immigration officers to deny applications if an applicant uses a wide range of public programs. These programs include Medicaid, food stamps, and other forms of government assistance. Impact on public benefits and government housing support. The restored rule goes beyond health and food programs. It also affects those who live rent-free in government-subsidized housing or receive financial support for basic living expenses. Only United States citizens and lawful permanent residents are allowed to receive such benefits legally. Therefore, if a person applying for a green card has relied on federally funded housing or support, that history could negatively impact their case. Immigration officers may now view such benefits as evidence that the applicant is likely to become dependent on government resources, officer discretion, and case-by-case judgment. The official rule states that officers must consider the totality of the circumstances, giving them broad discretion. Officers can review applicants' records across federal and state public assistance programs. If the applicant received free or subsidized benefits for extended periods, officers may determine they pose a risk of becoming a public charge. In such situations, the green card may be denied. There's been a lot of debate over the fairness of these rules and concerns about possible abuse of the system. Supporters of the rule, often highlight worries about abuse of U.S. safety net programs. They argue that people who enter the country legally and pay taxes have to wait years for benefits, while others receive taxpayer-funded support right after crossing the border. White House advisor Stephen Miller has stated that a large share of subsidized housing is occupied by individuals born abroad, about 40% in New York City alone. He argues that reducing migration and bringing back strict immigration rules will help lower housing costs for Americans. Now, some advice for those currently in the immigration process. Since this rule will significantly affect future applications, anyone applying for immigration benefits should be extra cautious. If you are receiving public assistance, it could influence the decision on your case. Understanding the reinstated public charge rule can help applicants avoid complications and be better prepared for the immigration review process. The Trump administration is proposing to deny green cards to immigrants who use government aid. The United States is set to tighten rules for those seeking permanent residency, focusing on the public charge rule that's been in effect since December 2022. The Department of Homeland Security has drafted a proposal called the Public Charge Ground of Inadmissibility, which could deny green cards to immigrants likely to rely on government assistance. The rule is scheduled to be published on November 19th, opening a 30-day window for public feedback. Under this proposed rule, immigration officers would have more authority to assess whether applicants might depend on programs like food stamps, Medicaid, or housing support. If an immigrant is deemed likely to rely on these benefits, their green card application could be denied. Matthew Trugzer, a spokesperson for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, explained that the rule seeks to rescind the 2022 Public Charge regulations and restore broader discretion. This would allow officers to consider all relevant facts and maintain the long-standing policy that immigrants in the U.S. should be self-reliant. Right now, eligibility for a green card depends on factors like age, health, family situation, finances, skills, education, and past use of certain government benefits. Officers may also review Form I-864, the Affidavit of Support. The new rule would expand these criteria, giving officers greater freedom to evaluate the totality of the circumstances, including family health, financial background, and potential reliance on government programs. This proposal would actually repeal the Biden-era rule that protected immigrants from being penalized for using certain public benefits. Immigration advocates, like the Protecting Immigrant Families Coalition and Community Catalyst, warn that this change could discourage millions from accessing healthcare, food assistance, or other support because they're afraid it might hurt their green card status. The Trump administration says the main goal here is to prevent government benefits from acting as an incentive for immigration. On top of that, the administration is reportedly planning further restrictions on green card eligibility for citizens of countries affected by the presidential travel ban, which currently blocks entry from nations including Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, and several others. So, overall, this new policy marks a significant tightening of U.S. immigration rules, giving officials more discretion to evaluate applicants' self-sufficiency while raising concerns among advocates about access to essential public services. That's all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully the information is useful to you.